Hey everybody, I'm back. So this is my first actual Dear Twin Flame letter. It's not really a letter, it's just kind of an overhaul of all the things that I want to talk to him about on a regular basis, or just the key messages that I want to say, dude, you need to know this. So here's my list. Dear Twin Flame, you are loved. You are loved by so many people. You are loved by me. You are loved by your family. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. You have so many people who wish you only the best. Trust yourself. Love yourself. You know, if you listen to your heart, you know what you need to do. But you have to be able to trust yourself and walk on. I know you're afraid. I know you're afraid, but you don't need to be. So what I know about fear is this, or this is what I've learned in the last 2 years. If you're afraid, you're scared, that is the best indication of where you need to move forward in order to succeed. So those big black areas that just make your stomach crawl and you make you want to strike out and yell and scream and cry and carry on and all the rest of it, that right there, those moments are where you need to push through the fear to get to the other side and open the door to a world of abundance and blessings and love and hope and all the good that you've been looking for. That's where you have to go. You have to do the thing that makes your gut wanna scream and run the other way. As soon as you do that, you'll learn 2 things. One, that it's not as bad as you thought it was going to be. That's the biggest one that I learned, is that once you do it, you kind of go, really? Why was I so afraid of that? And also, 2, that you'll regret waiting so long. You'll be like, why did I take so long to do that? That's ridiculous. Because it's so much better on the other side. The relief in your stomach, the relief in your head, the ability to walk in your truth, it's just so freeing, and it's so, you just feel buoyant. So walk through the fear. Walk through the fear. You'll like the other side, I promise. Trust yourself. Yes, we already said that. There's no positive without negative. So I keep thinking, or I keep hearing about ebb and flow. It keeps coming up in my dreams. It keeps coming up in my journeys. It keeps coming up in my conversations. So what I've learned is this. If you just stay in the dark, or if you just stay in the light, it actually becomes stagnant. You don't move, you just get stuck. You just stay flatline. But when you accept the bad with the good, you kind of create a flow, ebb and flow. And the bad, as my daughter loves to call it, I prefer to say negative and positive, because I don't look at it as bad and good anymore. I look at it as negative and positive. And negative always comes with a lesson and a reward. So if you're always stuck in the victim mentality of this is horrible, this is horrible, this is horrible, and you don't step back and say, why am I in here? Why am I in this place? What am I supposed to be learning from it? First of all, the universe will keep putting that back on you and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, and it will get louder and louder and louder until you go, oh, I get it. And that's my lesson, and I've learned my lesson, and I will do better, and I will move on. Or you'll just keep repeating and repeating, and it'll get louder and louder until it's deafening and you feel like you're drowning. So take the step back, take a deep breath, look at it from just a little bit of a different perspective, and see where the lesson is. See what you're supposed to learn from it, and say, I get it. thank you for the lesson. Be grateful for the lesson. See how it will change your life for the better, and then move forward. And the positive that comes from recognizing that lesson is immense. It's wonderful, especially if it's a lesson that you've been getting repeatedly over and over and over again. Because once you get it, it's like a whole new world. The clarity is undeniable. Yeah. So walk through the fear, acknowledge the lesson, and move forward. Get that ebb and flow. Ebb and flow. Know your truth. So there's a thing where people say that's not true, and you go, wait, what? But my gut says it is. Or somebody convinces somebody else that their truth is right and yours is wrong. And then you say, well, maybe I'm wrong, or it's a manipulation. So again, stop, take a breath, and really listen to your heart. Listen to your gut. And if you know your truth and you know the intention behind your truth is pure and not vindictive in any way, but it is actual, there's no ill will involved. This is my truth and this is what I know. Follow your truth. It will only lead you on the path that you're supposed to. It will not, your heart and your gut will only do good for you. It's ego, it's your thoughts, it's the manipulation of society, it's everybody else's voice in your head that leads you on paths that you shouldn't necessarily go down, and ultimately bring you back to learn that lesson again so you can make a different choice. But it is your choice to follow ego or follow heart. Okay, twin flame. You like to save people. I know you do, because I do too, or I used to. I still try to help people, hence this channel. But what I've also learned is that until you are true and kind and loving to yourself, you cannot help anyone else. So, love yourself first. Love others when you're good with you. We'll talk more about that, I promise. And boundaries. So, here's what I know. Unconditional love is the epitome of what this universe needs, without question. But unconditional love does not mean that if you love somebody, they get to do anything they want to hurt you or hurt the ones you love. Unconditional love means that you can love them, but you can set boundaries. You can love them, but they can go their path. It doesn't mean you need to hold on tight and get dragged through the mud. It doesn't mean that. For example, I have loved many people in my world, and I still love them very much. I have been engaged in the past. I've been married to a different person in the past. I have children. I have family. I have friends. I have good friends. I have ex-boyfriends. I have lots of people who have come and gone from my life who I care very much about. However, I don't want some of them in my world anymore. Does not mean I don't love them, and it does not mean I don't care about how they are in the world. It does not mean that I don't care about their well-being. It does not mean that I wouldn't be there for a lot of them if they needed me in some manner. What unconditional love means is that I can love them, but they can walk their path. And if they cannot fall into my boundaries of how I deserve to be respected, how I deserve to be treated, then they can't walk alongside of me. Does not mean I don't love them. It just means they can't walk along with me. So, those are my basics. Those are my basics. I got lots more to say. But for now, I want you to hear that. I want you to hear that you are loved. I want you to hear that you can love yourself because you're a phenomenal person. I want you to hear that you are allowed to set boundaries with others, that they respect you as well. Yeah, there's probably a lot in that. I'll leave it at that for now. And maybe next time I'll read some of my actual letters that I've written you over the last bajillion months. Fill you in a little backstory of where I've been. But ultimately, twin flames out there, if you're not in union, think about what I've said. Not that I'm in union, but I'm good. I'm good on my own, and I'm good if my twin flame shows up. But for now, I'm happy. I'm living my best life. I see all the blessings in the bad and the good, and the world is just a really different place since I've been able to wrap my head around this. Yeah, but you gotta own your shit. You gotta own you. You gotta see your part in it. And make the choices that benefit you in order to walk a happier path. Yeah, I think that's it for now. We'll talk again. Love y'all. Mwah.